Lean in. Not with your ears, not even with your mind. Lean in with the part of you that gets quiet at 2 in the morning when the whole world is asleep and you're left alone with your thoughts. Lean in with the part of you that has been waiting, though you may not even know exactly what it has been waiting for. Because this is about something real, something that doesn't come wrapped in noise or flashing lights. Something that doesn't arrive with a dramatic soundtrack or a parade. Something that, when it finally comes, feels less like fireworks and more like breathing for the first time after being underwater for far too long. They are made for you. And I don't mean that in a light, throwaway way. I don't mean it the way people say it casually at the end of a first date or in the caption of a photo. I mean it in the deep, cellular, impossible to explain way. I mean it the way your bones know when you're cold before your brain even registers the temperature. I mean it the way your body relaxes in a place that feels safe before you've consciously decided it's safe. They are made for you. And somewhere inside you, a part of you has always known this was possible. That there is someone out there who fits not your ideal, not your list, not your imagination, but you, the real you. The version of you that exists when no one is watching. The version that laughs too loudly sometimes, cries at commercials, gets scared more than you admit, and loves more deeply than you've ever allowed yourself to show. That version of you, the truest, most honest version, was not made to be alone. Now here's the part I want you to really sit with. There is one thing, just one, and it will prove everything. Not a grand gesture, not a speech, not roses or candlelight or a perfectly planned moment. Life isn't a movie, and real love doesn't audition for a role. Real love just is. It shows up in the smallest, quietest, most unexpected way. And when it does, you won't have to wonder. You'll know. This one thing won't be something you can put into a sentence easily. It will be a moment. Maybe it's the way they look at you when you're talking about something you love, and you notice, really notice, that they're not just waiting for their turn to speak. They're actually listening. They're in it with you. Their eyes are soft and present and full of something you've never quite seen directed at you before. Maybe it's the way they remember the small thing, the one detail you mentioned once, months ago, almost in passing, because you thought nobody ever really paid attention to the small things. And then one day, out of nowhere, they bring it up. And something inside you cracks open. Not painfully, but like a door that's been stuck finally swinging free. Because you realize they were listening. They always were. Maybe it's the way silence feels with them. Because silence is the real test, isn't it? Anyone can fill a room with conversation, but to sit with someone in complete quiet and feel full, not empty, not restless, not like you need to perform or entertain, that is rare. That is everything. You won't be able to reason it. You won't be able to put it in a spreadsheet or a pros and cons list. You won't be able to explain it to your friends in a way that fully captures what it felt like. You'll try, and they'll nod, and they'll be happy for you. But they won't fully understand, because they can't. Because what you felt in that moment belonged entirely to you. And that's okay. Some things aren't meant to be explained. Some things are only meant to be felt. We've been told so many stories about destiny, big, sweeping, dramatic stories. Two people who meet in a storm, two people who were separated by circumstance and then reunited after years apart. Two people who were always meant to find each other, and the universe bent time and space to make it happen. And yes, sometimes it looks like that. But more often, far more often, destiny is quiet. Destiny is ordinary. Destiny looks a lot like just another Tuesday. Destiny doesn't yell, it doesn't knock, it doesn't send you a notification or a sign in the sky. It whispers. It waits. It slips itself into the most unremarkable moments of your life and hides there, patient and unhurried, until the moment you are finally ready to see it. This is important. Until the moment you are ready. Because here's the truth that nobody really talks about. The right person can walk into your life and walk right back out again. Not because they weren't right, not because the timing was cruel or the universe was unkind, but because you weren't ready. Because there were still things inside you that needed to be worked through, walls that needed to come down, wounds that needed to be tended to. Because you were still becoming the person who would be able to recognize them. Readiness is everything. When the moment comes, and it will come, it won't feel like the movies promised it would. There won't be a swelling of strings. There won't be slow motion. Time won't stop. The world will keep spinning exactly as it always has. Someone nearby will probably be doing something completely mundane. A dog will bark. A car will drive past. Life will continue its ordinary business, completely indifferent to the extraordinary thing that is happening inside you. But inside you? Inside you, everything will go still. You'll feel it in your chest first. A strange, full sensation. Not quite pain, not quite joy, but something that contains both. Something ancient and familiar and new all at once. You'll feel it in your breath, which will come slower for a moment, as if your body is catching up to what your soul already knows. You'll feel it in every fiber of yourself. That's not poetry. That's not exaggeration. When something is truly, deeply right, when it aligns with who you are at the most fundamental level, your entire being registers it. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your instincts, they all speak the same language in that moment. And what they say, all of them, in unison, is yes. Like everything you thought was random suddenly makes sense. All those detours, all those wrong turns, all those relationships that didn't work out the way you hoped, all those moments of loneliness that felt like evidence that something was wrong with you, all those nights when you quietly gave up on the idea that this kind of connection was even possible, it all rearranges itself. Not painfully, not with some dramatic revelation. It just settles. Like pieces falling into a pattern you couldn't see when you were only looking at one piece at a time. You'll understand, without needing it explained, that you had to go through exactly what you went through to arrive exactly here. That the path wasn't broken, that you weren't broken, that everything was, somehow, in its strange and imperfect way, going according to something you didn't have the vantage point to see. Like the universe itself is exhaling in relief. Because even the universe, it seems, has been holding its breath for this. Here is the warning, because there will be a moment, and you need to be ready for it, when your mind will try to step in. Your mind is logical. Your mind has been burned before. Your mind has built an entire architecture of protection, layer by layer, over every difficult experience you've ever had. And when something beautiful approaches, your mind's first instinct is not to welcome it. It's to examine it, to find the flaw, to ask, but what if this isn't real? What if it doesn't last? What if I let myself believe this and then I lose it? Don't listen to that voice. Not this time. Not because caution is bad. Caution has its place. Not because you should abandon all wisdom and leap blindly into anything that feels good. Feeling isn't the same as knowing, and not everything that sparkles is what it appears to be. But when it's real, when it's the real thing, the deep thing, the thing your soul has been quietly waiting for, you'll notice that the fear is different. It won't be the fear that says run. It will be the fear that says, don't mess this up. The fear of someone who has something precious in their hands for the first time and is terrified of dropping it. That's not a red flag. That's reverence. So don't fight it. Don't try to explain it. Don't try to force it into a shape your mind can manage. Don't pull out your list of requirements and check it off. Don't look for reasons to discount what you're feeling just because you've been disappointed before. Just notice it. Just let it exist without immediately trying to categorize or contain or control it. Let it touch you. Not just the surface of you, the presentation, the persona, the version of you that moves through the world in armor. Let it touch the real you, the soft center, the place you protect most fiercely because it is the place you have been hurt most deeply. Let it be. And here is what I want you to carry with you above everything else. All the time you spent waiting was not wasted. Every year you lived without this, every relationship that didn't work, every time you healed, every time you rebuilt yourself from something that broke you, every version of yourself you had to leave behind in order to grow into the next one. None of it was wasted. It was preparation, all of it. Because the person who is made for you isn't meant to find a polished, perfect version of you. They're meant to find you, the real you, built from everything you've experienced, shaped by everything you've survived, softened by everything you've loved and lost. The real you, who now knows what it means to be patient, who knows how to tell the difference between something that glitters and something that glows, who knows, finally, truly knows, what you actually need, not just what you thought you wanted. That person is meeting that version of you, and that version of you is worth meeting. When the timing is right, nothing else will ever feel the same. Not because everything else was wrong, but because everything else was preparation. Everything else was the practice run, the rough draft, the long and winding road that had to twist and turn exactly the way it did in order to deliver you to this moment. And when you arrive here, when they arrive, you'll look at everything you went through and you won't feel cheated by the difficulty of it. You'll feel something closer to gratitude. Because every hard thing made you ready. Every loss taught you the value of what you were looking for. Every wrong door you opened led you further down the hall toward the right one. So wait. Not passively. Not with your arms crossed and your heart closed, and your cynicism worn like a coat you never take off. Wait actively. Wait with your life fully in motion, growing, living, loving the people already in your life, building something you're proud of, becoming more of who you actually are. But wait with space. Leave room. Leave a little quiet in the noise. Because when it comes, and it will come softly. And if your life is too loud, you might miss the whisper. Don't force it. Don't chase something that keeps retreating. Don't shape yourself into something you're not in hopes of attracting something you want. The right person isn't drawn to a performance. They're drawn to the truth of who you are. Just stay true. Stay open. Stay patient with yourself and with the process. And then, one ordinary day, maybe a Tuesday, maybe a rainy afternoon, maybe a moment so unremarkable you almost didn't pay attention, something will happen. Something small, something quiet, and your heart will stop for just a second, and your soul will exhale. And somewhere deep inside you, in a place that has been waiting longer than you can remember, something will quietly and certainly say, "Finally, this is right." And it will be.